Hi everyone, welcome to the podcast P is for Plog. Yes, it's been a while. In fact, this is the first one of the year, and as a result, I've had a bit of a rethink. These seasons in my podcast series is a bit nonsense, so we're going to get rid of it. No seasons. This is episode 34, and it's called P is for Person of the Year. Let's get going.
Plug it and tag it and post it and bin it. Plug it and tag it and post it and bin it.
Hi everyone. Thanks for joining. Sorry it's been so long in doing it, but I think it's actually reflects my mind state of what's going on at the moment in my life, and specifically around the title Person of the Year. I want to talk about that. I've got about 4 things I want to talk about, and it's been a while, so I don't know how long this is going to go on for. I'm just going to ramble as I normally do. In fact, someone was talking about doing a TEDx this morning. We were doing Haarlem Hobblers, and Jo, who I was running with, she was like saying, yeah, the Haarlem are looking for TEDx speakers at the moment. And I was saying, I think I'm actually a bit like Trump. In fact, I'm a lot like Trump in many ways. Not in every way, I want to add, but in some ways I am kind of like Trump. I mean, I literally want to plaster Way of Life everywhere. If I could have a building with Way of Life on it, Way of Life Tower, I damn well would. I would absolutely love that. Maybe it's not for the same reasons, but it is definitely something I really want to have that everywhere. And the other thing that I do is my talking. The thing I think I'm most scared about with TEDx is I will just ramble. I cannot stick to a script, and I don't want to. And so I'm exactly like Trump then. I will just go off on a tangent and I will start talking about anything I like. Hopefully I'll make more sense than he does. Hopefully I will be talking about different things from a different side of the fence. But yeah, I think in some ways I am a bit like him. Oh God, that's a bit of a horrible confession, isn't it? Oh gosh, I have Trump tendencies. My name is Paul. I have Trump tendencies. There you go. But see, and then the trouble is, it's like Trump. You start something, you forget, what the hell was I talking about? Let's talk about these topics. Now, the main one's going to be Person of the Year, and I want to cover that one first because I think that's the reason why I've not done a podcast for so long, is because I've been honestly too scared to. So I think I've talked about being nominated. I'm not sure about being nominated for Person of the Year. So just in case, I'll do a quick recap. So it was beautifully, I just loved it. I was nominated for Person of the Year here in Haarlem by the local newspaper, Haarlem's Dagblad. They just sit down as a group of journalists and each of them chooses a name. So there were 10 people that got nominated. And when I first got it, I thought, yeah, fantastic. This is just amazing. If I win this, then it's actually going to have a financial benefit on me. I can go around to local businesses and say, hey, I'm Person of the Year, support me. And then you can say, we support the Person of the Year in Haarlem. I think that would be really cool. So there was a real financial benefit, I thought, for me in doing it. So I was really excited. And then I saw the other 9 candidates and I was like going, oh my God. How can I promote myself above these other people? They've all got great stories. I think I have a bit more of an Instagram presence than most of them. Yeah, each one's got their own sort of quality and their own, their own diverse fan base. Is that the right word? Anyway, well, they have their own community, I should say, that will be supporting them for voting. So I was really torn with that, but irrespective of what happened, I put my heart and soul in it. I figured out a way that I felt comfortable in terms of saying, vote for me. And that was literally to go up to people and say, this is Haarlem of the Year. You can win it. I'm one of the nominees. Vote. vote for who you want to. The most important thing is that you vote. You look down, you look at all of the other 9 people in addition to the weird banana guy, and you make your choice. You say, right, this is the person I want to be. It doesn't matter if it's me, it doesn't matter if it's not. Now, in reality, I'm not naive to think that they were doing that. If I was talking to them, the chances are high that if they did vote, they would vote for me. Yeah, I know that, but it was something I felt more comfortable about doing. I didn't really feel it's an award for Person of the Year. It's not something you can campaign. It's not a position you're sort of trying to sort of get, or even a giveaway, or like with the beer. That was, I kind of liked trying to get people to vote for me with my face on the beer can last year, because it meant that it was a prize that you could win, whereas this was Person of the Year. It didn't really feel like it's something you should be campaigning for. So I had a real problem with that, but I was still doing it, and I was completely stressed. I was getting my eczema. I suffer from eczema when I'm stressed, and I was literally scratching everywhere, and I still am a little bit. I was literally at night just scratching everywhere, because the eczema was not out of control, really, just because of the stress from it. And the whole campaign went on for a month, so I was really living in stress all the way through December, since we last spoke. So the 5th of December was my last podcast. So since that time, I was just going around saying, vote for me. And then it was on the 20th of January, I think around that time, or 23rd of January, when the announcement was made. So we went to the event. A few of my friends came along, my family came along, and we had the award ceremony, and I came second. So I didn't win. I sort of I was the first loser, as the No Fear t-shirts used to say. I used to have a t-shirt that said second place is the first loser. And it really knocked me back. What is quite funny is the person that won. I mean, every person could have won and should have won, really. It was a bit unfair. It would have been better, I think, if they just have had a set of judges that would just judge it. So the person that won comes from a smaller town adjacent to us in Haarlem, and the mayor had said to all of Haarlem, vote for her, because she's done amazing work for 50 years and everything. So vote for her. And I think she only won by 70 votes, so it was a really close battle. In the end, it was the mail-in ballots that sort of won it. The way it works is you get the newspaper, and you could in effect vote 10 or 11 times. If you've got all of those articles, I think you could vote that many times and just send it in, so one person could get 10, 11 votes. So it was a real close thing. She won, maybe because of that. But the thing is, if I'd have won, then people would be saying, oh yeah, but he's got Instagram. So there's always going to be some reason. If you're unhappy with the result, there's always some reason that you can justify that you lost. Oh, see, I'm going back to Trump now, aren't I? You see? Oh my God. No, but I accept the results. I accept the results of the ballot. There is not, oh gosh, there is not election fraud on this one. It is what it is. It's set up like this way. Accept it. And I am. The trouble is, it does have an impact on me to not be able to go around. Hey, come and go to local businesses. Hey, come and I really would love you to support me and sort of sponsor me in my endeavours. Yeah, and I am second place in Person of the Year. Yeah, we proudly support the runner-up in Person of the Year. It doesn't really roll off the tongue as much as Person of the Year, so it's not something I can really use. I can lean into a little bit, and I want to for a couple of companies, but it's not something that really works. So I'm going to be honest, going back to that eczema, I was completely stressed by the whole thing, and I hit a huge low afterwards. So for about 10 days afterwards, I was in a real dark space. No other ways, and it is all my own doing. It's nothing to be sad about. I said, heck, there's 160,000 people, and I came second. What is there to be sad about? Even if I'd have come last, there was nothing to be sad about. It's amazing just to be nominated. It truly is. I know you hear people in awards say, "Oh, I'm just so grateful to be nominated," as you pick up your Oscar, but it was pretty amazing to be nominated. But the low that I felt and the stress that I had during the campaign, during the voting month that was in place, it was just really heavy for me. I really struggled with it and really didn't know how to handle it, to the point where I think it's actually a good thing that I lost. So coming out from sort of a bit of a real funk that I was in, a real sort of dark place, trying to battle through it. It probably wasn't visible to people, but I did really feel it did really knock me back. And the way that I've sort of come out of it, the other end, is I think it's a good thing that I lost. It's frustrating. I'm going to be brutally honest. I don't see any point in being anything other than that. I'm a little bit disappointed or frustrated in looking back on last year. So if I look back on last year and the crazy 31 marathons I did, 1,500 kilometers nearly in a month, is ridiculous. Yeah, and then you put on top of that, I was doing in a banana suit, picking up trash the whole time. I am so proud of what I achieved. And the whole intent of that was get to May so I can do that. And once I've done that, then hopefully, I'll get the sponsors, I'll get the press coverage, I'll get everything that, the hard work and effort in doing it and the craziness will sort of earn. And I was really grateful for all the media I did get, but it's frustrating to look back and go, I didn't get one sponsor, one additional sponsor. Not one company thought, oh, what he's doing and what he's been doing for 15 years and now what he's doing in a professional role is amazing. Let's support him. I went around to, I've mentioned on a previous podcast, I went to around something like 200 companies, 150, 200 companies, around local companies, and saying, sponsor me €50. You get it all back in tax. You get your name on the website and you're supporting me in what I'm trying to do here in the community. I didn't get one person doing that. I did get one, but that was through a friend. So those direct cold calling and everything, I didn't result in anything at all. I didn't get the sponsors for May. I didn't get any TV talk show invites. I think that I was expecting. It's a bit, in hindsight, you shouldn't expect. I know I shouldn't expect things, but Jesus, what have you got to do to get on a TV program? So I thought, I'll get some TV talk shows. Maybe in reality, a talk show isn't a huge deal these days with not so many people watching TV. But so, clearly they've got enough content that they don't need me on there. So it was a bit frustrating, but I was so grateful for the support that I had from everyone. So it wasn't a failure at all. It was just frustrating that the things that I was hoping to get afterwards to help me go further, to help me continue, to help me pay the mortgage, to help me reach more people, that didn't materialize. It was really tough. And same thing with the person of the year. It was so there were 2 awards that I one I was nominated for the Haarlem Person of the Year, but there was also another award that was last year, ASN Bank, and I am not going to be knocking at all the person that did get nominated. So someone nominated me for ASN Bank Sustainability Awards, or their sort of Acorn Awards, they call them. It's all around sustainability and sort of social and all of that kind of thing. And you could, and someone could nominate you. So I got nominated, and I did my own little sort of write up for it, saying, "Oh, it's so nice to be nominated. This is what I did: 1,500 kilometers around the entire nation, picking up trash in a banana suit, raising awareness. But I do this every day, picking up trash." And I didn't get into the finals, but someone else did who does picking up trash. And I was really thrilled for them, but it's a bit frustrating when you kind of go, "Oh, hang on." So I picked up 44,000 liters of trash, going out nearly every. Just a couple of days I didn't when I did have a rest, but basically every day I'm going out for a run, picking up trash. And in addition to that, I did the 1,500 kilometers in the banana suit. In addition to that, I did this and this and this and this. So there was like so many things going on, and I didn't get into the final but then someone else who is a litter picker, who does it occasionally, did get in. And that knocks you. It does knock you back. I'm wearing my heart on my sleeve doing this. I'm really fighting to make this a successful career, breaking new ground, trying to pioneer. And it's just not getting recognized in some places. Now I shouldn't expect that, and my brain says that, but my heart works on its own beat, its own drum, and so it does knock you back when that doesn't happen. So I think then Person of the Year came along for Haarlem, and that knocked me back as well. So I hit a real low, to the point where now I'm going, okay, if these things happen, they happen. If I do get an award like this, brilliant. If I do get nominated for an award, I'm going to make one, maybe two posts about it and just forget about it. I'm not going to do like I did with what I did here, which was going around trying to get people to vote. I'm just going to go, okay, I'm better using my time elsewhere. As a pointing case, I wanted to win. I was hoping to win, so that I could then take that and go to companies. It was 2 steps removed to getting a company to pick me up as a sponsor. What is better of my time? What is better of my time? Is it chasing that award, or trying to have all the stress, more importantly, having all the stress associated with the ethics of chasing an award to potentially reward myself? Or is it better to spend my time going, "Oh, hey, look, I've been nominated to this, fantastic," and just keep it as a nomination? If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And then focus my time on actually going directly to those companies. Look, I just been nominated for that. Instead, what I was doing is I was putting everything on pause, thinking, "Oh, if I win this, then I can go to them." I should have just gone to them and said, "I've been nominated. This is fantastic. Let's work together." That would have been a better use of my time. So it's been a real insight to do that. Anyway, breathe. So one of the reasons, the main reason why I haven't done a podcast is because of that low that I've been on. I've now come out of it the other end, because alongside that, I'm ambassador. I'm sustainability ambassador for Le Champion. So if you've been following me on Instagram, then you'll know that I am now an ambassador with Le Champion, who do running events. They do running, cycling and walking events in the Netherlands, something like 60 a year. I'm going to be doing sort of 7 of them, basically one a month for a few months. And I'm going to be doing it, and like I did with Amsterdam, with that giant cup on my back. So that's how it started off. So basically what happened was I did Amsterdam and Amsterdam with this giant cup on my back. They loved it so much, they said, let's turn this into an ambassador role, a sustainability ambassador role for next year, and see how it goes. So I am now their ambassador, and it's brilliant. The impact that we've had already is just so incredible. I just love it. That is better use of my time, is focusing on what I love doing, what I'm driven by doing, which is sort of doing these crazy things to try and get noticed, to get into people's heads. Let's just be kind. Let's just pick up a piece of trash. Let's just do something positive for people, not against people. That's where I'm better spending my time. And to have Le Champion bring me on, and they have such a brilliant meaning for me, because when I first came over here, the first two basically events I did was Egmond and Amsterdam. So those were my sort of main two events that I just love with a passion, and or Amsterdam Marathon as well. And it was sort of, Le Champion have actually been more influential or sort of impactful in my life here in the Netherlands. And I realized it wasn't until after I was like, oh my gosh, Egmond was always my favorite race, but I'm now ambassador for this company that run my favorite race in the entire world every year. So grateful for them, and the impact that we're doing together is already being noticed. So there's oh sorry, where am I going? Here, over here. So I've got the logo on my shirt now, and I'm a proud ambassador for them. I think it's just so wonderful that they see sort of the potential in me, and I get really stressed about it. They're so cool. They're like saying, no, you're doing a great job. They actually understand. What is brilliant with them is they understand that it's not the number of views that you get, although I was blown away by the number of views I did get for Egmond. So on one of my posts I got 90,000 without being it wasn't a collab. It was literally just my post. It got 90,000, 95,000 views, which is for me just so ridiculous, so crazy cool. Loved it. I'm going to be doing a separate video about all of this. So I'm not going to spend too much time, but I'm just so grateful to Le Champion as their ambassador. So, like, for instance, what the award I thought might achieve, the ambassadorship Le Champion is achieving. It's getting us out there talking to runners, raising awareness, and it's really getting noticed. I've got a video of, and I'll try and put it on the screen, that John, the running Dutchman, filmed, because he ran with me last week at Scorrel when we did our second event. So I've got 7 events. It was the second last weekend. And he's got this brilliant video of someone running and putting their cup in my bin, in my giant cup that I've got on my back, and filming themselves doing it. That is just exactly what I want to achieve. It's sort of or what we want to achieve is we want this to become iconic. This giant cup that I've got on my back to be iconic, that people come up to it, and it really feels like it's getting that momentum. Now, I'm not saying that it is there yet, but you can see it's building up, and people are recognizing it from the previous events that we've done. They're recognizing me from when I wore the can dress. So it is all happening together. And I got invited to an event yesterday I can't go to, but it was like, do you want to do this race with us? Bring the giant cup with you. I think that's just fantastic. I think it's now other events want that to happen. And I said to them, look, I can't do that. I came up with the idea of this cup with Le Champion. It is a Le Champion event only thing. Don't you worry, I've got plenty of other ideas. So if you want to do something, let's do something else. But that stays within the events for Le Champion, understandably. And it's starting to have an impact. The other thing is, I really, whenever I take on a sponsor, I think about what is the benefit that's non-financial. So I do need that mortgage to be paid, but at the same time there's a real benefit to being called the sustainability ambassador for Amsterdam Marathon, for example. There's a benefit for me having a specific logo on my chest. So maybe I don't get so much money from them, but I get something else. And so I always try and look at that and the impact that we can make together. Can we make a really good impact? And so I look at the whole thing holistically if I can. So I've got a new sponsor coming, I'm going to be an ambassador for a brand. More about that soon, but I'm super excited. So again, having their name on my shoulder is just going to be a huge win. Brilliant. So it's crazy, huh? You look at the award, that really knocked me back. I had the whole stress about doing it, whereas with Le Champion, I can go straight into that. That is in effect a financial transaction. It's a sustainable transaction. It's a what I do, my way of life transaction. It's something I can directly approach with all my heart, be as completely open, unstressed. Let's do this. Let's make an impact together. And along the way, we can just do something really positive, and I can put my heart into it. It's so different. So I need to make these smarter decisions. I need to go, no, this is the way I need to go. Going along those lines is the best thing I can do, rather than going along something that's just bringing me stress. So it's been a real eye-opener for me. Two more things to talk about. One is the Insta360. So I think I mentioned last time on the podcast I won the drone. So we're now a couple of months further down the line. I still haven't flown it, so it's actually in a box downstairs, mainly because of the weather and things. But I will be flying it soon. And also and the reason why I mention this is because of Insta360. So I'm such a huge fan of Insta360. One of my dreams is to actually become an ambassador sponsored by them. I'd really sort of love to do that because I'm such a huge fan of them. I'm completely in the ecosystem. So that's one of my goals this year, is to get them on board as an ambassador, hopefully with some financial. But there's a good example. Maybe I'm just kicking myself in the teeth now, but to have Insta360 an ambassador role for them, I think has that a weight in gold really on it, especially considering most of my money goes on camera equipment. So I will do a video soon on why I went to Insta360 and why I love their products and what I use and how I use it. A lot of people have been saying, and I'm really pleased. I'll show up now both of the Scorrel and Egmont reels that I made. I'm really proud of these. These are all me with the Scorrel one, the one that just gone. I've also got a little bit of extra footage from John. But he was doing it as well with Insta360. He uses those. So it's I'm really proud of the reels I put out. I think one of the things I can do as a sponsored athlete is, in effect, and that's true this weekend. This weekend I'm doing 3 days with Stadsgeld Nederland, who on the other side, on the side of my shoulder, who are the other sort of main sponsor of mine. So the two main sponsors in terms of financial benefit are on my shoulders, and they're helping lift me up. It seems appropriate that they're on my shoulders, and I'm doing 3 days with them this coming weekend. And I think the benefit that I bring these companies is it's a one-man show. You don't need to bring a film crew. You don't need to do anything. In effect, I'm just self-contained. So with Stadsgeld Nederland, I've got the next 3 days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'm going to Carnival here in the Netherlands. I'm not going to try and explain Carnival if you don't know it. Let's just think of it as Rio. Just think of it like that. So I'll be going to Carnival, doing the Optocht. It's like a great big parade. And Stadsgeld Nederland have got the in the parade with all the floats going past. We'll be on the very last one, acting like a sweeper that picks up all the beer cans and bottles that have got a deposit on them, and then we just collect them all, and then we can give that money back to the association that is connected to that carnival. So I'm going to 3 different parades on Saturday, Sunday and Monday in the banana suit, and just looking forward to that. But it's all going to be I just turn up. I haven't spoken to them for a week because they just said, right, you need to be here, do your stuff. Actually, it was literally do your thing. And that's it. I'm just a self-contained unit. I think that's one of the benefits I actually bring these companies, is they don't have to stress it. And I try and bring enthusiasm and passion, because that's the whole story I'm trying to tell. You're not seeing someone fake at these events. You're seeing someone who's actually doing what they love, having a heap of fun doing it, and trying to just sort of make as positive impact on this world as he can. So I'm really excited about that. So I've got these 3 coming up, and in fact I've got the other last thing is I've got a new printer. This is just end on a funny story. So I've got a new printer, and you can actually see it on the. Where am I going to go? There we go. So you can actually see it just here. I'll put it up on the screen. It's a sublimation printer, so it's actually just here beside me, and that means I can do more designs and get my name on everything. So it means that I can get a lot more creative on my designs on a sublimation. It sort of goes into the fabric. I can do t-shirts and mugs. So I've got a mug here. So there we go. And in fact, this mug is actually the problem. I'm not happy with that. So I don't know. You've got the light reflecting. It's a little bit tough to see. So you got that, and then on out here you go, that actually looks better. So or it looks bad, I should say. So I've got this sublimation printer that lets me go really detailed in design. So yeah, those mugs, you can go to the supermarket or whatever and just order with your face on it. I can now do those myself. The thing I love about doing all of this work is it's not just used by me. For instance, the banana suit has got now the Statsiceld logo for tomorrow in a really easy, very professional way. It looks fantastic. It's going to last, and it's sustainable in terms of I actually am printing on old t-shirts, running shirts I've got. I'm just printing on those and cutting them out and using those as the fabric that goes on the banana suit. So there's a good example of how I can sort of get creative in terms of using it. The brilliant thing is everything is done by me, and so when you buy, for instance, you buy a mug. If you want to buy a mug, not the benefit you get from if I do it is you get the design you want. So we'll actually talk about it. Something like this will cost €20. So yeah, it's quite an expensive thing, but you end up with a design that you want on it. And more importantly, it's done by me. So everything, from start to finish, from design to production is me. And that's what I'm really proud of, because I want some way that people can support me. So buying a €20 mug, this mug will cost me €4 to make. So I get sort of €16 in, less tax, but I get supported by you from that, and then you end up with something that hopefully you'll be really proud of it. So that's why it's really important that we get something. It's not just a bog standard design. I'm not going and getting 100 mugs made and then just selling them. I'm making each one individually, which means you can get the design that you want in there. I want it to be something that you get your name on there. Doesn't matter what it is. We get it on there, and hopefully there's a bit of a banana at some point. And we can sort of do that. I just love doing it from start to finish. So it really is something that you feel that you get something that is made and produced by me by hand. And I think that's how I sort of justify saying, oh, you want to give me €20, then this way, I get €16, less a bit or whatever. But I get a benefit out of it. You get a benefit out of it. It feels like it's more of a fair transaction instead of you just giving me money. So that's what I love. But I'm not happy. So I got this, and I was like really excited. But I made a couple of mugs, and I was like so disappointed. The reason being is look how dull those colours are. So it doesn't really sort of come up. But I want a black. I want it to be really black. If I print black, I want it to be black. I don't want it to be like like a shade of grey. I want it to be boff. And I made two mugs as testers just to make sure I understood how to do it. And they both came out awful, and I was so gutted. I was like, oh no. And this sublimation printer, when I got it, it was like loads of articles. Read this, make sure you do it this way to set it up, like that. I'm IT. I just throw the manual away, and it's a bloody printer. How hard is it? So I just sort of did my thing, set it up. It was all fine. Follow the instructions, download the software, install the software. Always straightforward. It's not rocket science. It's just crazy. And then you get a piece of paper so this is how it works. So I can print out a piece of paper. So I've got a piece of paper like this, and that's the same size as the mug. And then you just wrap it around, and then you put it into a press, heat press, and it's all done. Bang, dishwasher safe, everything fantastic. But I was disappointed with the colours. And then I did the one on the banana suit, and it was like blown away. It was like exactly what I wanted. It was like fantastic colours, really detailed. It was just so perfect. It was amazing. I was like, what the hell went wrong? So I'm like Googling, is it the mug press that I've got? Do I need to change settings? Other people have talked about it. Oh, it's too hot, or it's too cold. It was like half of them were saying, yeah, your settings are too high. Oh, your settings are too low. And I was getting all stressed about this. When I did the print for the banana suit, I realized that I found out what the problem was, and it was I was printing on the wrong side of the piece of paper. So what happens is, it's so stupid. You've got two sides. So this, you probably won't be able to see the difference. Maybe a little bit. So if you're looking at the screen, you got this, which is very vibrant white, and you got this is dull white. It's like an off-white cream. And I was just, I'm going to put those the right way around. And so of course I was printing on the bright white side. I was like thinking that's it. So yeah, you don't want any of that dull color coming through. And I was printing it. But then when I did the shirts, the banana suit, the white side, the bright white side of that paper actually had a bit of like a logo, a watermark on it. And so I was like, oh, well, that's not the right side. I need to print on the other blank side then. So I printed on the blank side, it worked perfectly. So, yes, I was using the wrong side, printing onto the wrong side of the paper with my mugs. Valuable lesson learned. And the valuable lesson is read the instructions. Damn it. What an idiot. So I was just getting so panicky. I was like going, oh, I need to change all the printer settings. And I was like, seriously, just print on the other side of the paper. But there was no instruction just saying, okay, this is the side you print on. It was just me thinking, obviously, that the bright white side would be it, but it's actually the other side. There you go. Live and learn. So for all those people that go, oh, you worked in IT, how do you fix this computer? The reason why I say, have you tried rebooting your computer? Is because I don't understand hardly anything. I'm really good at Excel. That's it. I'm really good at Excel. I'm not good at anything else. I'm definitely not good at printing onto paper. A valuable lesson learned. Read the instructions, people. If it goes wrong, it's probably you. I hope this was just getting me. So this is episode 34 of my life as a professional plogger. I hope that it gets back to being a bit more regular. I want to do one of these once a week, like I've always said. But the honest truth is I'm not doing the seasons anymore, because when I do one, I'll do one. I don't want it to be a stressful thing. I want it to be a fun thing. I want to have something to tell you. I want you to have fun doing it, Huge things coming up this year, so stay posted. Watch me on Instagram. Give this a follow, give this a like, etc. Or like everything you need to. But most of all, do something positive today. And if we do that, we can start caring. We can start changing the world. My name is Paul. This is my way of life. Hopefully, this inspires you to incorporating it into your own way of life. Thanks. Bye.